Hey, good evening. Welcome to week number 1 of American History 1. Once again, I'm Chris Carroll, the instructor for this course, and I hope you're ready for a Back to the Future edition of American history as we try to ask the questions, why study it? Why is it important? And what does it mean for me in my life today? And hopefully you're going to find the answers to those questions and so many more as we look at American history up to and after the Civil War. I want to begin because there is a lot of discussion in today's society about American history and what has been talked about, what has been left behind, what we focus on, what we don't focus on. So we kind of need to go back and just understand the aspect of what it means to study history. And the one thing that I'll share with you is that the history of America, when we think about the past, we must recognize that in the American past there was good, there was bad, and there was ugly. There's a lot of anguish in the past of American history. There is some hypocrisy in the earliest days of American history. But also there is a lot of hope, of ambition. There's decency. There's prosperity. There is good, but there's also bad. And we have to wrestle with it. And the one thing that I'm going to challenge you with during this course is to not just accept what is written. What I mean by that is I'm not saying that what is written is not necessarily true, but I want you to look at it from a historian's eyes and understanding that what we're reading is one part of the story. Take, for instance, Christopher Columbus. Growing up, when I was in school years and years ago, we had a holiday. Christopher Columbus holiday. It was a day we got out of school. And I remember growing up saying in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And I remember all of these things that praised Christopher Columbus for what he found it and what he discovered and all of those things. But as you start to see history as an onion and you start to peel it back layer after layer after layer, what you find is that Christopher Columbus really did not lead the very good life that some have left him to be revered in history. He came promoting God and glory, but his main focus was gold. And he used anything and anyone to accomplish his purpose. And you go and you look at what devastating remnants that took place when Columbus, landed on these islands. We find out that maybe it's not all good. But the only way I know that is if I study it. And so that's what we're kind of going to do today. I'm going to challenge you to not just take it at face value, but to use some critical thinking and evaluate and ask yourself kind of, what you see and is it really what you get. There's a lot to process, and we won't be able to process all of it, but hopefully it will whet your appetite just enough to say, yeah, I'm really into this. Let's dig deeper. For your assignments this week, what you're going to do is, number one, watch these videos, read the syllabus, and then you want to take the enrollment verification quiz. Please do that first. You want to do that quickly to make sure that you remain in this course. So have that done as soon as possible. First thing you do. After that, if you scroll down, you're going to see that we have 4 assignments. I know it sounds like a lot, but remember we're starting June 1st. A lot of this goes to June 11th, so you kind of balance it out. The first is called Week 1 Introduction. That's just where you're going to introduce yourself and tell us who you are. And I've also put a question in there that is asking you to be honest. And that is, what do you think about history? Do you like to study it? Do you not like to study it? I'm asking for honesty. Don't think, well, I better put yes so I can get a good grade. That's not what it's about. It's about answering the question honestly and using facts to support why you say what you say. So that's the first assignment. Please note the date on that is by Sunday, June the 4th. Have that completed Sunday, June 4th. You do not need to reply to classmates for week 1 introduction. I've already talked about the enrollment verification quiz. And then you'll notice these two assignments. Number 1, this is a discussion forum for week 1. And remember how I was talking about Christopher Columbus? We hear a lot about Columbus and some of these other explorers, Cortez and Vasco da Gama, Vespucci. We hear all of these, but what about the people in the background who really were at the foreground in the earliest stages, but now that we look back on it, they're in the background. And I want you to research the life of Dona Marina, who is also known as Malinche. And I'd be surprised if any of you have heard of her. But we should, because she plays a tremendous role in kind of the establishment of North America. And notice that I'm asking you to make here's your first task. You've got to determine, how does history portray her? As a hero, a traitor, a victim, a survivor? And why do you believe that? What's your research show? And I'll just be honest, you can find positions on all of them. But what's the ultimate view of Dona Marina? How do people feel about her, and how should history present her? So I want you to do this as far as your initial post. Now, I said that your form needs to be a minimum of 250 words, but please keep in mind, minimum is exactly that. I've always said if you want the minimum grade, you do the minimum work. It's just the way that it is. So don't be focused on 250. Be focused on answering the question. Mostly all your posts should go well beyond 250 words. And I'm going to just give you a little hint. If you focus on just writing and answering the question, and you don't pay attention to trying to meet word count, you'll blow past the word count every time. I promise you. Give it a try. So you're going to do your initial post by that Thursday. I think it's June the 8th. If I come up, yep, Thursday, June the 8th. And then you're going to do 2 replies to your classmates by June 11th. Here's your information concerning what replies are. Each reply is 75 words minimum. So that's your week 1 discussion forum. And then finally, you're going to have a quiz on week 1 materials. Week 1 materials could be the readings from the textbook or the mini lectures that I post on here at the beginning of each week. So your questions could come from both. You have 60 minutes to complete the quiz, but I want to caution you. You need to read before you take the quiz. Don't think, I'll take the quiz, I got 60 minutes, I'll start looking for the answers in the text. It won't work that way. These questions are challenging to where I would encourage you to read the chapter, highlight, make some notes, be comfortable with it before you're actually taking the quiz. Yes, you have 60 minutes, but you don't want, if you just don't want to spend all of your time searching frantically because you're going to make mistakes. All right. So those are the assignments that you have for this particular week. So I encourage you to go out and to do your best with it. I hope that you enjoy the first week of the course. And I'll share with you this. We've always been told, know from whence you came. That's an old quote by an author, I think James Baldwin. And I just want to encourage you that when it comes to the story of America, you have a part in it. Whether you are an immigrant or whether you were born here, regardless of your ethnicity, your religion, your family background, you belong here. And because you belong here, you also need to understand why you belong here and the contributions you make to this society. So enjoy studying the story of history and understanding the role you play in it as well. I think it's going to be a fun course. I'm looking forward to telling you a few stories along the way that just might pique your curiosity just a little bit. As always, reach out to me if I can do anything for you. I hope you have a wonderful first week of course study.